Hey guys, hope that you're having a wonderful week. I'm here recording in France in the little studio that my boyfriend has while he's over here. We're reunited, and at the end of the week, or actually this weekend, we're heading to Belgium to spend the holidays. And I wanted to record this video to accompany the piece I've just published on the blog all about dancing with fear. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive right in. And I'm nervous about this because I'm also going to be sharing a little bit about how I've been experiencing fear lately in a different way, which partly inspired the piece. But I'm going to start off with kind of the catalyst, which was recording a podcast last week for a new show that's going to be launched in January. It's not mine. I was just honored to be one of the guests. And we ended up talking about fear after I was asked to discuss, how I overcome fear in my life. I kind of prefaced my answer by saying that I don't really believe in overcoming your fears as much as I believe in embracing them and trying to learn what fear has to teach you. I think fear has served a really powerful role in our evolution. Fear has served us to, it's kind of like the alarm that lets you know, like, hey, there's something in the bush in the dark. Maybe like wake up and see what's in there. Is it an intruder or is it an animal that could potentially be dangerous? So fear is just like the spark that turns something on to get your attention. The action that follows comes from a different place. It's usually, maybe more conscious reasoning that's going to say, hey, I'm going to grab a flashlight. Or if we're thinking like way back, I might grab, a wood stick and see if I can defend myself if I need to. So fear is really purposeful in the sense, because if we didn't have that response, we probably would have let a lot of invaders come, attack our tribe or something, or might have gotten bitten by a venomous animal because we just kind of stood there and waited. But now in a world where we are, for the most part, safe. I'm not going to go into the details. I know there's some parts of the world where that's not the case. But for the most part, we have evolved in a different state of protection, and fear plays a different role. Now, there are times where that alarm comes into place in a similar way as it did back in the day where, we might be attacked by something. But now fear is, I think, particularly in our North American society, is also coming up in situations where we are completely safe. And the fear is actually coming from what we think could happen, not to us physically, but maybe to us emotionally. And this is often something that comes up around, either becoming more of yourself, or realizing a big dream of yours, or pursuing a goal that's meaningful to you. And I can, parallel it to the similar kind of fear you might experience when someone you're attracted to walks into the room. Suddenly your self-awareness like skyrockets and you lose kind of your footing. You might get a little awkward, a little shy, or you might just wonder why the hell you're reacting that way. The thing that happens when we're attracted to someone or something that we want, there's usually an emotional response, but there's also this awareness like, holy moly, I care about this, either this person or this thing. And the fear is just the alarm to say like, oh, caught your attention. There's something over there that means something to you. Now, sometimes just the attraction piece does not mean that it's right for you. We're not even going to go there. But in the event that there's something for you to explore there, it's important for you to not see fear as your enemy, but rather as a teacher that's just there to get your attention and to wake you up to what matters to you. Now, lately in my life, I've been experiencing fear in that similar kind of way. But it feels different because now a lot of the fear that I'm experiencing is not just about me, but about the role that's coming up for me, which is motherhood. I'll be giving birth in May, and it's been one of my biggest goals to enter this world of motherhood and create life. And now I'm really privileged to be on that journey. And the fear that I've been experiencing lately has been tied to my professional goals and what I deem as being successful. And I've noticed that, I'm attaching or relating my ability to be a good mom to my ability to succeed before my child is born. So I've set some hefty goals, wanting to set myself up for the arrival of the baby. And I think a lot of people do that. You kind of go into, fifth gear, knowing that there's a short amount of time to kind of get your shit together. And the reality is that as much as you might have thought of it ahead of time, I know I did, but I didn't necessarily put everything in place for me to feel like totally set up for the arrival of the baby. I think I was starting to think, well, maybe it won't happen for me, so whatever. But it is happening, and so I'm wanting to line my ducks in a row. And I've been noticing that the fear I've been feeling is making me feel kind of paralyzed and feel like I'm not good enough, instead of seeing, well, what is it trying to teach me? And it's trying to wake me up to the fact that, okay, you got something that you really care about here. You've set certain goals in this area to demonstrate how much you care for this being that's coming into the world, and also how much you care about the work that you do. And now what I'm seeing is that I'm navigating this new course. And yesterday I pulled a card out of my Oracle deck, and I was really, the question that I asked was, what is it that I need to know right now with regards to my professional life? And the answer, the card that I pulled, was all about dancing with life. And I saw this parallel between the feeling of fear and dancing with life. And I've been trying to dance a certain way, the way that I have in the past, but I'm dancing to a new song right now. And so I need to learn the steps and play a little bit and listen to the music. And I think there's something about loosening up. I think what happens when we feel fear, and this might be something you're experiencing, perhaps you're going after a goal for the first time, or it's one that you've been going after for a while, and you're feeling maybe tense and just kind of caught up in like, well, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if I don't get there? Or whatever else fear might be triggering for you. And is there a way for you to kind of relax, dance it out, and learn to see where the music is coming from? What kind of steps do you need to learn? And is there a way for you to loosen up a little bit so that you re-enter and flow with the force of the universe? Now, this might be woo-woo for you, for some of you, and it might seem really different from the idea of just like, go for it, push, hustle, like make it happen, which is something I've done before and can work. My experience with that has often been that on the other side of pushing and hustling will be the result I was after. However, it won't be the overall expression of myself that I want to be in the world. And it often comes with like physical ailments, like extreme fatigue or stress. And I have found that often that fear will just return. And what I'm experiencing is thinking that if I'm not really listening to what fear is trying to teach me, and I'm just trying to shove it out of the way and move past it, it's just going to come back and return, instead of seeing, how can I dance with fear? What is it trying to show about myself that's might be the next level of myself or a new discovery? And that's what I want to encourage you to do, is to see like, what is it that I'm afraid of most right now in my life, or in my life in general? What might that be revealing about what really matters to me? Why is that important to me? And is there a way for me to just pause and try to figure out or not actually figure out, but listen to the music and just let my body move towards the next best move? Often we're just trying to listen to a song that's in our head instead of the one that's actually happening in our life. And I think that's what I've been doing, because one of the biggest things that holds us back is not only denying what our true desires are, but pretending that the fear is not there. And that's what gets us really stressed up. And the example I gave when recording that podcast is that fear is kind of like that annoying little brother or friend or a little sister that holds on to you until you pay attention to him or her. And that's the thing with fear, just wants your attention, just wants you to like look it in the eye and be like, okay, I'm here with you. Let me listen to what you got to say, and then I'll make the decision about what to do next. And so if you've been pretending that you're not afraid, then you're probably walking around feeling really tight. And if you can admit it to yourself that, shit, I'm a little bit scared here, you will probably, one, relax by admitting to yourself what's going on, and you might get the next insight that you haven't been able to see. For me, that insight just came out of writing today. I wasn't expecting that to come out the way it did. I was going to give you more like step examples on how to handle fear. And then the dancing with life kind of seemed to be the best thing or what flowed naturally through me. And I realized like, well, I actually literally needed to crank up some music and dance it out and slow down and realize that I'm on a whole new dance floor. And I want to keep on dancing through life. I don't want to be like rigid or leaning against the wall on the sidelines. I want to be on the dance floor. I think you do too. So there's something about accepting the hand that's in front of you. That might be the hand of fear, and saying, all right, I will have this dance, but I'm going to twirl my heart out, and see where that takes me. So in a way, the main thing I want you to get out of this is to embrace the fear. If it's showing up, it means that there's something that really matters to you. And just lean into it and see, what is it about that matters to you? And are you dancing on beat? Is there a new beat that you need to listen to? Is there a way for you to surrender and loosen your grip? Because if it's showing up, there's just an alarm. You just need to show up and see what's there for you. Now, it is possible that when you do, it's not the right dance floor. That's okay. But the more you can pay attention and become allies with the emotions that show up for you, rather than try to deny them or push through them, you will see that you move in an easier state of peace or energy or happiness or other ways that you want to feel overall in your life. But these emotions that we sometimes want to push through or fight, we're actually fighting against ourselves by not seeing that they are a gift. They are there for a reason. And fear is one that was there for you to protect you and to help you thrive. And if it's showing up for you in your life, that means there's something on the other side that is waiting for you to discover. And I would love to know what that is. What is it that you're afraid of? Is there something that you're like, I can't believe I'm going to tell you that. This sounds crazy. I can't believe I'm explaining that. That's exactly how I felt today. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to let them know that I'm terrified that I might not reach some of my business goals, particularly related to the group coaching program I've created called Conception that's starting in January. I was like, what if it doesn't work out? And I felt really shitty about it. And actually, just after I took a walk, after writing that piece, I was like, okay, if it doesn't work out the way I thought it would, that means something better is waiting for me. And I actually got an idea. I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. So it kind of opened up a door. I was starting to be like, panic mode, but the reality is that I really care about this program, and I really care about what it represents, and it is kind of my pre-mat leave group program, and it is difficult to admit that as a business owner, or for me it's like a new kind of experience to be a business owner going into maternity and seeing oh, that kind of security that I let go of when I left a secure job isn't there, and I need to create it for myself. So it gives me this other drive, which is really powerful and awesome. And sometimes I shy away from that and be like, oh, I don't want people to see that this is something that I'm really going after, but it is. And I need to own that, because there's something driving me, and that's this opportunity I've been given, and that's also driving me to be able to serve better. And there's also no guarantees. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to dance, show up, and if that isn't the song that I'm supposed to dance to, well, maybe I'll wait till the next one and practice those moves. I might be losing you with my analogies here about dancing, but I have a feeling there's something it's spoken to you about. And one great place to start is to crank up the music, just see what's coming up for you, and to ask yourself, what is it that I really want in life? What is it that I'm most afraid of? What does that say? Just start there, and then let me know what comes up for you. So I hope that's helpful. I wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video newsletter. I'm not sure when that's coming out, since holiday cheer is coming around the corner. So it might be right before or right after, but I'll be thinking about you along the way and reading you if you send me your updates, and I hope you do. Thanks for watching. Bye.